Welcome! Today, we're going to dive into a really profound passage of Scripture. One that kind of invites us to see the entire universe, and, ourselves, in a completely new light. It's a journey that really challenges our deepest assumptions about what it even means to exist. So let's just start with a question that sits at the very heart of this whole exploration. What if the things we're most scared of losing are actually gifts in disguise? What if letting go isn't an end at all, but an opening? All right, our journey begins with a universal truth, one that's presented with just stunning clarity in the source text, the transient, fleeting nature of everything we see and touch.
I mean, that's it. It's a declaration of a fundamental law of existence. Every form, every structure, everything on this earth is destined to dissolve. It's not a suggestion, it's a cosmic principle.
But here's the thing, the text doesn't present this as some grim final ending. Instead, it reveals this hidden rhythm, this dance between two states, fana, which is the act of perishing or dissolving, and baqa, the state of permanence and endurance. One just gives way to the other. And this is where the perspective just flips on its head. Mystical thinkers, they don't see this process as decay at all. They see it as this profound act of generosity. Their argument is that things have to fade. The veils have to be removed for a deeper, more essential reality to finally be seen. And then, bam, this refrain appears, like a drumbeat. It lands right after that statement about mortality, and it forces us to ask, wait a minute, could this very process of fading away be one of the favors we're supposed to recognize?
So if everything we know is designed to perish, the unavoidable question is, well, what's left? What remains? What endures beyond this constant rhythm of dissolution?
The source explains that what endures is the wajh, or the face of your Lord. Now, this isn't a physical face, but the eternal, unchanging essence behind all the changing forms of the universe. It's the reality that holds both majesty and beauty.
What's so fascinating is how this ancient wisdom lines up so perfectly with modern discovery. I mean, science, in its own language, is describing the exact same rhythm. Stars die to create new elements. Particles flicker in and out of existence. Our own bodies are in a constant state of flux. It seems the universe has always been a process, not a static object. And get this, the source even points to a kind of hidden numerical symbolism within the Arabic words themselves. The sequence maps out a whole journey, from the impermanence of fan to the central balancing reality of the wajh, and finally to the constant complete renewal found in shan. That's an entire cosmology in just 3 words. So, the crucial point here is that this whole cycle of things perishing, of essential reality remaining, and of constant renewal is framed again and again as a divine favor, a gift to be recognized and acknowledged.
Okay, so now the tone of the text shifts dramatically. It moves from this quiet, deep contemplation to a direct and powerful address to all conscious beings.
This is a direct challenge. It's a reminder that consciousness isn't some free pass. It comes with accountability. And the text, it addresses both humans and the unseen jinn, the two weighty beings who carry this responsibility. But the challenge has a condition. You can't pass except by sultan. The source interprets this not as a spaceship or some kind of technology, but as a kind of divine authority or permission. It suggests that true transcendence comes from submission to divine law, not from trying to escape it. And even this boundary, this cosmic law that we can't break, is presented as a gift. It's a framework, a structure, a mercy that holds reality together, and we're asked to recognize it as a favor. Now, this grand cosmic drama, it isn't just happening out there in the stars. The text now turns inward, revealing how this is also an intensely personal story, a theater that plays out within our own hearts. So here we see the text working on these 2 profound levels. There's the outer aspect, this grand confrontation with accountability, a day of judgment, and then there's its inner twin, the personal, intimate moment of awakening that happens right inside the self. The scripture uses this really powerful, almost terrifying cosmic imagery. But the mystics, they see this as a metaphor for an inner event. The sky splitting open? That's like the protective veils of the heart finally tearing away under the light of truth. The marks of the guilty? That's just the inner state, the light or shadow within, becoming visible on one's face. The great mystic Ibn Arabi describes this moment so beautifully. He says this is when the soul finally witnesses the divine majesty that was in fact always present, always near, just hidden behind the veil of our own unawareness. And here, that refrain does something extraordinary. It ties even the fear of judgment to a sense of gratitude. It suggests that the act of justice itself, the unveiling of truth, is a profound form of mercy.
So, what does this grand cosmic theater mean for us, right here, right now, in our daily lives? What's the practical takeaway?
Well, I think the invitation is this. Don't fear the fire of awareness that burns away our falsehoods. The real danger is the spiritual numbness that lets us live comfortably with our own illusions.
And this brings us to a final, really personal prayer, a vulnerable whisper. It's a plea that when our own worlds inevitably fall apart, when our inner heavens crack open, the experience becomes a source of light and guidance, not destruction and wrath.
And this leaves us with a final provocative thought. The journey through accountability, through the unveiling of truth, it isn't meant to be an end. It's the beginning of a profound transformation, turning fear into nearness, and turning the fire that purifies into the light that guides us home.